Howdy gamers. So, people aren't happy at Blizzard. Apparently, Activision doesn't like to give people money. Who could have seen that coming? It's not like Bobby Kotick gets paid $40 million a year, unless he does. But remember, Activision, small indie company. They're just getting everything together, okay? So let's talk about Bobby Kotick and Activision, why they're underpaying their employees at Blizzard so much, why that seems to contribute to the downturn in quality products that actually come out of Blizzard Activision, and what they're going to do to fix the problem. Let's get into it.
You'll find new guys. You found Jason. You found Damon.
I need more money, Steve.
Billy.
I need more money.
We don't have any
I
more
can't
money,
compete
Billy.
against a $120 million payroll with $38 million.
We're not going to compete with these teams.
Wangles, what's up, man? I need less flag.
Wangles, Wangles, and I kind of hope it's Wangless.
On August 3rd, 2020, here's what Jason Schrier actually tweeted out with an article from Bloomberg about the actual working conditions within Activision Blizzard. Enhance! Jason Schrier reads, News, Blizzard staff put together an anonymous spreadsheet on Friday to compare salaries and pay raises as part of an open revolt against low compensation. While CEO Bobby Kotick makes $40 million a year, some Blizzard employees say they can't even make ends meet. Now, unlivable wages in California? You don't say? What? Jason's story starts out saying employees at Blizzard Entertainment began circulating a spreadsheet on Friday to really talk about the amount of money they were getting. As an old person, I think that this is something that can be very negative if it happens at your job. However, a lot of people commonly have no idea what their other employees are making for the same kind of jobs. And discoveries of pay discrepancies are a really big issue in the professional workplace. It is of the best interest of an employer to obfuscate that as much as possible and make it so you don't know how much your coworkers are making. And it's really, really scummy, but it's a very common practice, and it looks like Blizzard is not shy of doing this as well. So in 2019, they had an internal survey after more than half of Blizzard workers weren't happy with their compensation. They said that this is going to ensure some fair pay. Blizzard implemented the results of the study last month, which led to an outcry. Apparently, one employee made a spreadsheet and encouraged staff to actually share their compensation. This would be an anonymous spreadsheet where it just had a job title and then how much money they were making. And apparently this anonymous document, which I believe has been leaked, but is supposed to be confidential, and I think it betrayed the trust of a lot of people. You know, obviously it would if I made this and then someone leaked it outside the company to the media. That would suck. It'd be very awkward the next day. The anonymous document contained dozens of salaries and pay bumps. Most of the raises are below 10%, significantly less than Blizzard employees said they expected following the study. So if we actually read this, we keep going down. This year, Blizzard's top performers earned a salary increase that was 20% more than prior years. Our overall salary investment is consistent with prior years, said Jessica Taylor, Activision's spokeswoman. Yeah, okay, buddy. Really, Queen? You really gonna sit there and say, hey, don't worry, we are paying our employees more than enough? They literally all banded together. More than a majority of the people said they weren't happy with their pay. Now they're pissed, but you say, hey, don't worry, it's consistent? Okay. Kind of like, I don't know. If the spokesperson of China just told me that China was very free, you should believe him. Just take him at face value. You can see here that the article also talks about how much money Bobby Kotick gets. His 2019 compensation was $40 million at the end of the year. Now, to the people who are going to leave me an angry comment, who love Bobby Kotick and they love the idea of general capitalism in this way, yes, I know it's probably not just $40 million of unmarked bills that he gets to throw into some kind of padded truck that he just takes back to his house. I understand it's probably stock options and stuff like that. However, still, what? Why can't they pay their other employees? Can you imagine how much $40 million would do for payroll? The package has grown since then as the stock has soared. They were doing really good last year. And then as soon as they said they were doing great in 2019, they laid off 800 employees. Why? Someone's got to pay for Bobby Kotick's salary, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they just need some more money. They also paid $50 million in stock and sign-on bonus to the incoming CFO, Dennis Durkin. Blizzard employees said they were struggling to make ends meet while watching Activision Blizzard revenue grow year after year. Some producers and engineers can make well over $100K a year, but others, such as specifically video game testers and customer service, are paid around minimum wage or close to it. Damn. The article goes on to say what I was just saying. Last year, the company eliminated hundreds of jobs and asked some of the remaining staff to take on responsibility for those who were let go, which also is a great sign. If you get the ability to continue having your job, now you get 2 jobs with no pay increase. Extra work did not come with more pay. Damn, I guess you're never seeing your family again, but good luck. I guess you can keep working for us over here in the Blizzard salt mine. Hey, we got a new Overwatch patch. Get back in there. You're doing the QA testing and the asset making. Yeah. Whoosh. One veteran Blizzard employee told Bloomberg News they receive a raise of less than 50 cents an hour. They're making less now than they did almost a decade ago because they get fewer overtime hours. Several former Blizzard employees said also they received significant pay increases after leaving for other game companies such as nearby Riot Games. Can you imagine getting paid less because you don't get to work overtime after a decade? Yikes. Company loyalty gets you nowhere, I suppose. A lot of the internal communication that is actually recorded in Slack channels and stuff like that was leaked to the public and reported on by Jason Schrier over here at Bloomberg. One employee wrote that they had to skip meals to pay rent and that they used the company's free coffee as an appetite suppressant. Another said they would only eat oatmeal and bail on team lunches because they couldn't afford to buy food at the company cafeteria. A third said their partners stopped talking about having kids because they knew they wouldn't be able to afford it. This is something that's pretty common in the area that I live in. I live in Seattle, and it's not like there is a cheap housing that you can get. There is pretty much no option. You got to go about 30 miles north or south of Seattle if you want to look at something that's quote-unquote reasonable. Where I live right now, it's a 1-bedroom apartment. It's 620 square feet and it's almost $2,000 a month. That's a big yikes for me, my friends. Do I need to follow that up with the Patreon plug? Please give me money. Please, look, my cats, they're gonna starve. But that's my decision, and I love living in Seattle. It's a very cool place, you know, when there's not COVID going on. And there's not some other riots and whatever the hell. But anyway, what I was gonna say here is that yes, the cost of living is only more expensive than Seattle in a couple areas in the United States. One of those is the LA area. If we look at the company headquarters of Activision Blizzard, I believe they are in Santa Monica. Now let's just see very quickly. Let's do a quick, fun search of an apartment in Santa Monica. Are you ready? Santa Monica apartments, Craig's. Oh my god, my typing. So as you can see here from Google Maps, okay, so this is close to the Santa Monica Pier. 1 bedroom, 593 square feet, 1 bed, 1 bath, loft, $2,999. Doing some quick math, we're going to take someone that's getting paid minimum wage. We're going to calculate that out using California state minimum wage and see how much they actually make a month before taxes. According to Google, it's $15 a month. If we use this website called calculator.net, which, by the way, I really wish I had a graphing calculator right about now so I didn't look like such a dummy. $15 an hour, full-time, which is also a big if. It sounds like they're hourly, but they're not allowed to work overtime, so we're just going to assume they work 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, with some other holidays and stuff. Let's calculate it. So if you make $15 an hour, annually it's $31,200. $31,200, and we divide that. That's how much we get paid a year, right? By 12, we'll get $2,600, which I guess that already says there, doesn't it? Then we subtract $2,999 for rent, and we're short $400. Okay, so this might be a little hard, but don't worry. You can always live with another roommate. As you can see, maybe it's not the most attainable goal to live in Santa Monica by the water and also work on minimum wage. This is the worst case scenario, and like they said, there's a lot of people who probably make more than that, quite a bit more, especially senior engineers and senior programmers and high-level permanent staff. A lot of entry-level people though are coming in and out. I'll show you why. Let's check out Mr. Schrier's great work once more. So specifically here, right, he's talking about how Blizzard has long had a reputation for underpaying its workers. Some senior staff can make over $100K a year, like you reported in the article. Members of many departments have struggled, specifically QA and customer service. We'll get into that later. Lots of Blizzard staff have left for neighboring companies that pay for them to actually stay there because they have more money to give their employees, I guess. So if we look at this person who's called a Killjoy Main, as you can see, she works at Riot Games now. Blizzard internship, $16.75 an hour. Blizzard associate project manager, $59,000 a year. Blizzard project manager, $74,000 a year. Riot project manager, $134,000 a year. So right there, we can see this person has gotten a nice double down to do the same job. So yes, you can get paid pretty well, but a lot of the low-level people who work at Blizzard and Activision are gonna just rotate out. Why would you stay there if there's options like this that are literally in the same city? Here's another fun anecdote from the fourth. Will never forget Blizzard trying to poach me from Nintendo multiple times, while always offering less than what I was already making. Them telling me also, you can't put a price on prestige while their employees were living out of cars in the parking lot. Yikes! What's gonna come of this? It does seem like a pretty big issue. Blizzard has to respond in some way, especially after putting up this. Hundreds of employees at Blizzard are using the company's Slack network to organize workplace requests, including fair pay and increased sick time. Results of the effort, a rare example of labor organizing in the video game industry, are expected to be presented to management as early as this week, people familiar with the initiative said. A draft version of this list, which was reviewed by Bloomberg News, asked for changes on how promotions are doled out, increased vacation time, and pay bumps for members of the Customer Service and Quality Assurance Department. The list was compiled and discussed in a communication channel on Blizzard Slack with more than 870 members. We will continue to adapt our compensation to build and keep the workforce our company needs today and tomorrow, Dustin Blackwell, a spokesperson for Blizzard, wrote in an emailed statement. We understand that some Blizzard employees have specific requests, and we look forward to hearing from them directly. They then continue to talk about how in this article they talk about how there's no actual unions for video games, and this kind of seems like a patchwork union of some kind. Allegations of unpaid overtime and wage disparities between executives and their workers have been topic of intense debate in the recent years. Following a story on Monday, several current and former employees who have requested anonymity over fears of losing their careers said the company pays far less than competitors. Those who left said they got significant pay raises, some as high as 75 or 100% increase, after leaving for a comparable position at a different company. Workers wrote that some are being paid below $40,000 a year, which is less than half of the median income housing in Irvine, California, which is where Blizzard main campus is located. Our mentors are leaving in droves. On Tuesday, Activision Blizzard reported second quarter revenue of $1.93 billion, but said economic uncertainty could end the surge in video game demand. Oh, really? You think so? You think there's economic uncertainty in that industry that's never been bigger than it has been? What are you talking about? You guys just made tons of money off that. What do you mean? Several employees expressed disappointment to Bloomberg that the internal debate in the last week over compensation was not addressed with investors. That's strange. They didn't talk about troublesome things with their investors? Who could have seen that one coming? What? And this is not a problem that's exclusive to the video game industry, but is something that seems to not be addressed by one of the biggest video game companies. If Activision Blizzard actually sits there and they listen to people and they do things correctly, they set a really big precedent for a lot of other companies that are smaller than them in the same space. They do get a lot of benefit out of this because they find people who are very, very interested in the world of video games, where people could take a lot of the same skills they have and leave to go work at another tech job in the area. They could probably take a lot of the skills they have as a software engineer for some new Call of Duty game that they haven't released yet, and they could probably go work at Google and make an ass load of money, but they don't. Why? Because they love to play video games and they're neckbeards like me. One of the biggest agreements in the actual article, according to Bloomberg, it's a headline. It's a headline. Finally, I sure hope those customer service and quality people can make livable salaries. It just seems like people should have livable salaries most of the time, especially educated people who are skilled and they're doing very technical work. But hey, ultimately at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to leave, man. You guys got to stop getting beat up. If no one's going to stand up for you, you got to stand up for yourself. And it's rough. I do wish that there was some kind of oversight on the dark parts of the video game industry like this, and it didn't have to come out in a Bloomberg News article roasting these guys, saying, hey, that guy right there, the guy who tried to fix all the bugs, he's getting $38,000 a year and he lives in a shack. He likes to shower upstairs in the company gym and he's just drinking coffee and eating oatmeal to suppress that hunger. While the CEO is like, making more money than ever, and there's no reinvestment back into the company. That's not how you make great games. That's not how you're going to get creative output to increase and get something that's good. You're just going to get a very predictable thing that's working right now, and I don't think it's going to be sustainable that way. It's not the demand is going to stop surging. It's the fact that you're going to keep making cookie cutter games that aren't great for an audience that's kind of sick of it and sick of you. So stop that. And don't forget that Bobby Kotick forced his way into Moneyball in a role where he says he doesn't have any money. Just remember, things could be worse. You could be living in your car or drinking coffee instead of watching this video. That's all I got. See you guys. Peace. Bye-bye.